It's a question regarding my journey right now. I've been working on my self-empowerment. That's my biggest desire, to be fully empowered and stand in my power. But I am struggling with my inner critic.
You are struggling with what?
My inner critic, my inner voice that I criticize and judge myself.
All right, well, what kind of a conversation are you having with that critic?
Well, just the things that I want to accomplish and the things that I want to manifest. There's days where I am practicing self-love and
Yes.
I feel that I'm worthy.
Yes.
But then there's those days where I kind of start just criticizing myself.
Is it because you are insisting on a particular outcome for what you're doing? Or are you acting on your excitement for its own sake? Does the critic come in when you think that you have not measured up?
When I think I'm not good enough or worthy.
You are not
Good enough.
good enough for what? To be yourself? Who else can be better at it?
Right. So how do I stop
Notice how many people say, right, but just keep on going.
So
You're the only one who can be you. So you are good enough because no one else could possibly be as good at being you as you can.
So how do I get that through my head?
You want me to drive it through your head with a nail or something? What will it take? What will it take for you to believe it?
Right.
While I'm asking you, what will it take for you to believe that you're good enough? You tell me. What will it take? If I tap you on the shoulder, is that good enough? If I punch you harder, is that good enough? If you get into an accident, is that good enough? What will it take?
That's what I'm struggling. I don't know. It's just, I just wanted to just know it and own it.
What is stopping you from knowing it? What idea, what belief is stopping you from just saying, I know it? You're making a choice here. You're making a decision here. Why are you choosing to not know something you could just decide to know is true? What's stopping you from just saying, it's good enough that I just know it's true that I'm good enough? What's stopping you from just knowing that?
I guess because I doubt myself.
And what is doubt?
I don't believe in myself sometimes.
Doubt is not a lack of belief. It's a choice to believe in something that's out of alignment with your true self. Doubt is not a lack of trust. It's a 100% trust in something that's out of alignment with what you prefer. So why are you choosing to put all your trust in something you don't prefer instead of putting it in something you do prefer? Why? Why does that seem logical to you?
Yeah, so that's why I wanted to stop.
But I'm asking you a question that you're not answering. Why does it seem logical to trust in something you don't prefer about yourself instead of simply trusting in what you prefer to trust in? What's stopping you from believing that trusting in yourself is just as powerful and will stick just as strongly as the fact that you will trust something you don't prefer? Why are you making that distinction? It's easier in your mind, in your beliefs, it's easier to trust something you don't prefer about yourself than it is to trust something you do prefer. Why? What's the belief that says it's easier to do that than this? Because they're both the same level of trust. It's 100% trust in something you don't prefer about yourself. It's 100% trust in something you do prefer to believe about yourself. It's the same level, the same energy. What's the difference? Why not this one instead of that one? Why are you making such a distinction between the two as if trusting in something you don't prefer is easier than trusting in something you do prefer?
Right, so I'm trying to break that pattern.
It's not a pattern. Watch your definitions. It's a choice you're making every moment. Remember, when you know it's a pattern, it's not a pattern anymore. A pattern is something you do you don't know you're doing.
Right, so I'm
If
aware.
you know you're doing it, it means you're making a choice to do it. So the question would be, why am I making a choice to do something I don't prefer? And that comes down to what we just said. You have a belief that it is easier and more real to trust in something about yourself you don't prefer than to believe in something about yourself that you do. Why are you holding on to the belief that that's easier than this? That that's more real than this, that this is more true than this? Why? How does it serve you to hold on to a negative image of yourself? How does it serve you? Because you wouldn't hold on to it if it didn't serve you, if you didn't believe that it served you.
I guess it keeps me in the same place.
And is it scary to leave that place? Is it scary to be yourself? Are you afraid that if you are your true self and you act on your highest passion, that something bad will happen? What are you afraid of?
I guess so, yes. That something bad's going to happen.
Well, why do you choose to believe that?
I don't know.
Sure you do. Come on. Why do you choose to believe that if you're living your excitement, that something bad can happen? Do you want me to tell you why?
Yes.
Because you have a definition that isn't a definition of excitement. You have a different kind of definition, and that's not a definition of excitement. If you had an actual definition of excitement, you would understand that a real definition of excitement can't possibly contain anything that would be out of alignment with that excitement. So even if, as we said earlier, even if something crops up that you don't prefer, that can just be a neutral observation. It doesn't have to affect you negatively. Only when you decide that it can affect you will you feel the effect. But if you remain neutral with whatever happens, even if it's what you don't prefer, then you can go into a positive state about it and get a beneficial effect no matter what it is. So there's no reason to be afraid of any circumstance that could crop up, because you, by staying in the positive state and trusting that you are good enough and worthy enough and deserving enough, will know that you will always get a beneficial effect no matter what crops up, because you will just remain neutral to it and observe the negative thing neutrally. And that will be the choice that you make, and that will be a true definition of staying in your excitement. To say, I am following my excitement, but something bad could happen, is not a definition of excitement. It's a different definition of a different experience altogether. So you have to be clear about your definitions and understand when you are contradicting yourself in those definitions. Yes?
Yes.
Is this helping?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.